Hi, my name's John Reinhardt. I'd like to share my story. My story starts when I was a kid. I was always kind of husky. Then 2001, I joined the Navy. When I got to boot camp, I remember struggling to make it through the physical fitness. I was around 180 pounds by the time I left boot camp. I started boot camp at around 200. Then when I got to the Navy and I was in the fleet, I jumped up to 220 pounds. And I was still exercising a lot, but I also started drinking a lot when I was in the Navy because that was kind of what everyone else did. And then I had weird health problems in the Navy that I went to medical for. I had weird acne on my arms all the time, and they couldn't figure out what it was. Well, smash cut to 2005 when I got discharged from the Navy. My weight went from 220 to 285 almost overnight. It was within 3 or 4 months I had gained that much weight. And I remember my nipples hurt severely, and the doctors couldn't figure out what it was. They sent me in for ultrasounds and all kinds of tests, but it was the weight gain that really was messing with my hormones. So something had shifted. Then I spent the next 10 years drinking heavily, just becoming a full blown alcoholic, drinking 12 beers a night. Then around 2009, I got a pretty good job at an aviation company, so I slowed down my drinking to about 6 alcoholic beers a night, and I would drink pretty heavily on the weekends. Well, my anxiety got really bad at this time. I was really struggling with alcohol and going to work. Um, I started getting hypertension. I had pretty bad anxiety and depression. Just my mental stability was very tenuous. I thought I could snap at any moment. Just, I was really angry, like for no reason. And then my blood pressure started really climbing in about 2015, or no, 2013. And they put me on 3 medications that just still wasn't even controlling it. And uh, when I would have sex with my wife or something, when I would ejaculate, it felt like my eyes were going to come out of my head. The blood pressure was so bad. Then I also had edema from the medications, so they took me off one of them. It was a mess. They put me on a statin, and none of that stuff got any better. It just kept up in the doses. And then in 2015, my mom had congestive heart failure and type 2 diabetes, and she passed away, and that really woke me up. So I started to listen to like Vinny Tortorich on podcast, and friends at my work had talked about like ketogenic diets. And in early 2016, I started a ketogenic diet, and I started the Dr. Berg method, and I was eating huge salads all the time, and I'd lost a lot of weight. I went from 285, I went down to uh, right around 200 on that diet, eating, the meat the size of the palm of your hands, not eating too much protein like they always talk about in keto. And my digestion was terrible. I'd try and go exercise after work after I ate dinner, and sometimes I would have to stop on the way to go paddleboarding and run into the bathroom because the salads were just ripping my guts apart. So in August 2018, I decided to go carnivore, and absolutely flawless digestion. I have had no problems with that. My skin on my arms had cleared up. Um, I haven't had a drink in almost 3 years since I've been keto carnivore in that time. And just quitting the sugar had really made this so much easier. Because back when I was still drinking, I would just always have deals with myself about, could I quit? And I would try and go for a week. And then I'd say to myself, oh yeah, I know I could quit. But then I would always start drinking again. But since I've been on this diet, the keto and carnivore lifestyle, I haven't had any issues with alcohol whatsoever. I don't crave it. I don't think about it. I go months without even crossing my mind. And when it does cross my mind, it's more like I can't believe I ever used to do that. You know, it's just that person that I used to be. So I truly believe that the carnivore and ketogenic lifestyle truly saved my life. So I really appreciate everything that it's done for me, and I hope this story will reach out and touch someone else and save someone else's life too. Thank you. I'd also like to add one more thing. I'm completely off all medications, and I have been for 2.5 years.